Three biggest signs you may be neurodivergent, but you don't even know it. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm talking about three of the biggest signs that you may not catch that could actually mean that you are neurodivergent. And when I say neurodivergent, I'm mainly talking about ADHD or being on the spectrum and having autism. Now, before I get into it, guys, I just want to give you a little bit of background and my story and how I realized I was neurodivergent myself. This is something I don't really talk about that much, but in my previous video, guys, the one I made a while ago, when I had a little bit of longer hair, I've since cut it because it's getting hotter. I may grow it out again though, just a little bit. But in that video, I was basically talking about how I want to be more authentic. I want to talk about things that I'm more passionate about, things that I've experienced, things that I have personal life experience on. One of those things is being neurodivergent and the struggles that come along with it. Now, me, I was diagnosed pretty late. A lot of people are, which is why I want to start making these types of videos so people can get the help that they need, because it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle being neurodivergent and you don't realize it. Because what tends to happen is you beat yourself up a lot because you realize you're not like the people around you. I was officially diagnosed with ADHD combined and a few other things around the age of 21. But also in the psychological evaluation I did, I showed elevated symptoms and signs of autistic masking. And they want me to go back for further evaluation on that. So there's a sign I may be autistic as well. And it is possible to have ADHD and autism. And it's kind of difficult to pinpoint just one or see if you have both, because they have a lot of overlapping symptoms and manifestations. So I will probably go look at that in the future, because right now I don't have health insurance, guys. And all those testings and stuff that I've done and I've looked into, they are very expensive. But I just wanted to get to the bottom of it, guys, because ever since I was young, I've always felt different than people around me, and like I've struggled with things that seem easy for them. But that's a video for another day. Let me get right into the video with the first sign, which is that everything just seems to get harder for some reason. What I've found is that when you're neurodivergent, you'll start growing up, you'll go through the same processes as a lot of your peers, but for some reason, as you look around, you'll see people around you and you'll see people actually like flourish, start having a good work-life balance and fulfilling good relationships. And you'll look at yourself and you'll say, what? How are they doing this? Like, how is this possible? Because you'll find that when you're neurodivergent, if you have ADHD or autism, these things are much harder for you. You'll struggle a lot more to keep a job. You'll struggle a lot more to understand social cues and actually have fulfilling relationships, because you're not sure what to actually do in certain situations. And your neurodivergent brain looks at things in a different manner. And you'll have a lot of memories of you like feeling shame, feeling like you're not like everybody else around you. Like you just don't have this ability to socialize and get what you want out of relationships in the way in which they do. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't, it doesn't mean you won't have the occasional friends, you won't have the occasional girlfriends and flings and people you hook up with and this and that. You'll still be able to do that, but you'll find that it's just much harder for you. And it takes up so much more mental energy for you to do these things that seem to come so naturally for other people. So the second biggest sign is this feeling that you just feel like an alien. You feel different than most people around you for some reason. And to actually fit in, you feel that you have to be inauthentic or put on a mask. And it can be hard sometimes, guys, because like when you get this feeling, you get into like these negative feedback loops. You start feeling different than people around you, and your brain kind of like does this confirmation bias thing, and you start thinking about all the times you've been rejected or you felt betrayed when you were trying to be yourself without the mask. And then your brain just tries to subconsciously convince you that you are you are different than everybody else, that you will never fit in, you will never be accepted. And I've had these types of feelings since I was a kid, honestly. I always felt different than people around me. I felt that I looked at social situations in a different type of way, had trouble picking up on social cues and acting naturally and instinctively. Most of the social skills that I do have is from watching other people, doing research online. And it's sad, guys. It's sad looking back, realizing how much I've been masking, how much I've been just trying to fit in. Because deep down inside, I just feel different than everybody around me. And you know, guys, like I'm getting older now. I'm 22 now, and I feel pretty sad for some people. Some people don't realize they're neurodivergent until they're like 30 or 40, after lifetimes of struggling, you know? And it's sad. I'm glad that I got diagnosed not that late, because I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to find the balance and find the things that help me not be so burnt out all the time, find the habits and skills that help my neurodivergence and help me get what I really want out of life without having to put on a mask and be inauthentic all the time and do things that I really don't want to do, you know? This is something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I just felt a lot of shame, guys, for some reason. Got a lot of built up shame, and that's something else you'll find when you're neurodivergent. You'll have a lot of pent up shame inside of you. Memories of being a kid and people telling you that you're too much, you're too this, you're too that, too emotional, like why are you so shy, why are you so timid, like why, you know, you'll have a lot of memories of that, and it'll make you not want to be authentic and come out of your shell as much, and it's really sad. All right, guys, but let me not get too sidetracked there. Let me go ahead with the third sign, the last and final one, which is alexithymia, emotional dysregulation, and this thing of trying to master your feelings through thoughts and rumination. Now, this isn't exclusive to just neurodivergent individuals, but if you are neurodivergent, guys, with these things a lot more. And alexithymia, I may not be pronouncing it right. It's this thing where you're not exactly sure what you're feeling or why. It's this weird, apathetic, numb feeling that you get, like, and it's kind of unnerving in a way, because you feel kind of like detached from yourself, from your body, and things happen and you know you should have emotional reactions and stuff, but you just can't seem to figure out what you're feeling or why. And I get this a lot, alongside disassociation a lot. And in my case, I believe it's because I have not just ADHD, but I also have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And with ADHD can come a lot of disassociation because of the way your thoughts are running and things like that. The way your mind is just all over the place sometimes. And with PTSD, disassociation can also be a symptom of that. And since I have both, my theory is that I just disassociate a lot. I'm not in my body a lot. I'm not accustomed to it because of the way I grew up. And I've always been in like this sort of survival mode. I'm not in my body a lot. I don't want to be in there for some reason, because I feel when I do feel, all right, sorry about that, guys. Some alarm started ringing, so I had to cut the video. But yeah, what I found is, though, that when I do feel emotions, I tend to feel them in a very intense type of way. And it could be overwhelming sometimes. And I just learned to internalize everything. Because what you'll find is, and the intense emotions that I feel and emotional dysregulation, that comes from, a lot of people don't know this, but that's a part of ADHD. It messes with your ability to regulate your emotions, and you'll find that you will feel things with more of a passion. You will feel things with more of a passion. You will feel things more intensely. It's easier for you to fall into limerence too if you have ADHD or neurodivergence, which is where you get like a limerent object and like you're kind of obsessed a little bit. And it's easier for you to feel things in this intense way. But the thing is, I never learned how to deal with that. I never learned how to like let it out, how to like process it. And my theory is, as a defense mechanism, like some people learn to just disassociate. And that's when you start feeling those feelings of not understanding what you're feeling or why. Because it's not uncommon for kids that are undiagnosed, that have ADHD or autism. They have these strong emotional reactions. Maybe they get really mad, very happy, very, very angry, too much of an emotion, right? And the parent that doesn't know that their kid has ADHD, autism, instead of trying to offer them the right support and help them through their emotions, what you'll find is a lot of parents just shame the kid. They shame them into not feeling those emotions. They convince the kid that these emotions are bad, that they have to have them under control and stuff like this. I only say that because I know what it's like. I came from a pretty conservative household, guys. And I don't want to like put the blame on my parents or anything, but like as a kid, when I had these intense emotional reactions and stuff like that, they never really attempted to be there for me or emotionally, or coach me through my emotions or help me understand how to regulate them. And so subconsciously, I learned to internalize everything. And I still struggle with it to this day. I just internalize everything. And I've been through some traumatic experiences too. I've internalized those as well. I just internalize it. And what I try to do is I try to do the third thing that I mentioned in this the third sign, which is I try to master my emotions through thoughts and rumination. I like internalize all these things that happen to me because I don't know how to effectively like just feel them and like regulate them in an effective way. Because when you're neurodivergent, your emotional regulation isn't as good as normal people's. So I don't really understand how to regulate it in an effective way. And you won't ever really be able to tell because most of the time I have this poker face, expressionless face on me, but internally I feel things very intensely. I feel very complicated, intricate emotions, and I'll find myself ruminating a lot, trying to master these emotions with my thoughts and like explain them in my head and like justify them, and you'll find that you'll do this a lot too if you're neurodivergent. You'll try to like master them through your thoughts and ruminating about them all day, and it can be very draining, very exhausting. This is something I go through a lot. I try to master them and I ruminate about my emotions and stuff like that. I have a hard time understanding what I'm feeling or why most of the time. And the rare cases in which I do feel something, I tend to feel it in a very intense, passionate way, and I don't know what to do with that. And I'm trying to find the proper way to like regulate it and and find what to do with these emotions, guys. Because I struggle to just allow myself to like feel things and let them go, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like feel the emotions and just let them go, right? But me, and if you're neurodivergent, what you'll find is you try to master them. You try to ask yourself why you're feeling it, and it's this like mentally taxing process, But yeah, I've been trying to find different ways to like, effective ways to like I'm trying to find better mechanisms, guys. Because it's really draining to do these things. It's really draining to not understand what you're feeling or why. It's really draining to feel things in an intense way, to not be able to regulate your emotions as well as others. And it's really draining to just ruminate all day and like try to master your feelings with your thoughts. It's really draining. And but yeah, guys, that's why I want to talk about these things though. I want to raise awareness for these things and talk about it so other people can see that they're not alone, and hopefully to inspire and encourage other people and see that they're not out there fighting the battle alone. I'm trying to just like document my progress and really grow as a person, and talk about some of the things that have helped me get through all of these things, and like coping mechanisms and things that help me. I want to talk about talk about them as I find them in the process. Because what you'll find is if you're neurodivergent, a lot of these super bland, generic self-improvement and like hustle culture advice, it's not gonna work for you. It's not gonna work for us because our brain is literally just set up in a different type of way. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to find like the keys, the cheat codes to really be the keys and the cheat codes so that it won't be so hard just living and doing normal things as a neurodivergent person. That's one of the things I'm passionate about and I'm wanting to do in my journey. But yeah, guys, with that being said, those have been the 3 biggest signs you may be neurodivergent and you don't even know it. I don't want this video to be too long, guys. And I did like zone out there a few times if you couldn't tell. I'm trying to work on my focus more. It's a little bit hard with the ADHD sometimes. I'm trying to work more on my focus and really like just say what I really want to say. But I'm working on it, guys. Sometimes it's not as bad. It depends like what day it is and like if I got enough sleep and stuff like that. But yeah, I just been working on not being so hard on myself, man. Not being such a perfectionist. And this is a message for you too. Like it doesn't gotta be perfect, man. If you got a project or something you're passionate about and you want to talk about it, like just go ahead and do it, man. It doesn't have to be perfect. And over time, you'll get better at it. But yeah, guys, with that being said, I'm in this video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And I will see you on the next one.